Supreme King and Vanquish Soul. These are both two competitors that I didn't expect to see turning over this regional season. You guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more OS content. Now, this is a regional breakdown that I definitely wanted to see out here. I am actually shocked to see the turnover here that all of these Yubel players had. Like, you either take your pick this format. You either think Tenpai is the best deck, you either think Snake Eyes is the best deck, or you think Yubel's the best deck. I've seen every region has had a different opinion of what this is, and we've seen those three decks kind of fighting it out in terms of viability. But what has been underneath these decks has been the midsection that has definitely caught, the attention of the player base. So, for this regional, we had 3 Yubel variations in the top cut, which actually ended up not really scraping by and doing this crazy thing. Okay. They ended up getting second place. They didn't win. Ended up with Tenpai winning this event. Good stuff. All right. We also had a Vanquish Soul player smashing through the top cut. And I'm going to be honest with you here. To the people that are looking at Vanquish Soul, it is very early still into this format. We don't have Mulcharmy Purgatory yet. So to see that this deck got to rise to the occasion was good. We also did have a Labyrinth Control player. I'm not really sure on the variation in the list because it's not public. We also did have a Ritual Beast deck in Top Cut, which is really, really nice. And I think one of the coolest surprises out of this event, besides Vanquish Soul, was the Supreme King Pendulum deck coming through here and showing, hey, we can still make some relatively cool boards. You gotta give some credit to the innovation. Let's pass on over those deck lists. Starting things off here, we have the top 4 Vanquish Soul list. And you know what? I bet you did not expect to see Vanquish Soul doing anything at all this format, because most of the time Vanquish Soul just kind of gets forgotten about out here. I hate to say that because I love this deck. I love the fact that it's literally the video game side of the world, and I love the lore of this. The older you get, I think the more you're going to appreciate Yu-Gi-Oh's lore inspiration for the decks. So we are playing 2 Kaiser Varius. I did see a lot of more modern era lists that were trying to play Kaiser at 1, and that just doesn't feel right, in my opinion. Like, you want Kaiser to be able to resolve and do its thing. We are also on a heavy inspired list here for the Durandal stuff. And the other thing with this build is, well, actually, I think with most lists is, you have to kind of really rely on the Kashtira stuff in here to kind of get you to where you need to be. You know what I mean? Because being able to get to the Rise Heart, to have that extra fire monster to be able to reveal on some of these effects is pretty good. Or, being able to toggle into the extra Fenrir for the next... It depends on how long you plan on the game going in the long haul. We are also dedicating, hey, look, a sack slot. LOL. We have the 2 small worlds. Kind of get you to any piece of the engine that you really need. And then, of course, down here in the side deck, I see we are having fun today. Yeah, I also have the Gravekeeper's Inscriptions. Punish those stupid decks that rely on their graveyard. And then, of course, you are technically playing 1 Trap Trick for the 2 different dimension grounds and the triple barriers here, just so you can roll these on out and set up those punishing effects. There's not much else to really look at this list, and there's really not much else to look at here. I would say that this feels a little bit standard, minus, the things I pointed out. Okay. Our Supreme King Pendulum deck. So, for those of you that have not been keeping up with this channel, we talk about Usman Manon's list. I'm probably mispronouncing that name horribly. Apologies for that. He'll come up with a pendulum build of like anything Magispector under the sun. And I was kind of convinced for a while that you had to play Magispectors out here in order to kind of come up with the most competitive variations. This is one of the few times recently that I've seen, especially post-list out here, that you don't have to rely on the Magispector cards to, make it to the top cut. Obviously, this doesn't count. This is a generic pendulum card as it is. That gets you into, the broken stuff. This card right here. The fact that the Secret Village in this deck is going to be a centralized win con is extremely broken. You can spin it however you want. You can be like, well, Robbie, granted, pendulums do more than just Secret Village. Yes, you do make a pretty impressive board. You'll usually have the Absolute Dragon loaded on up, and then, whichever other piece of the combo that you need. Also, since this deck lost Apollousa, I think a lot of people kind of considered the pendulum mechanic to be in an even worse shape than it is. No, you just need this card right here. I know I'm putting a lot of faith into the Secret Village lock, but it is extremely good, especially also post-side decking here. So we have the Time Pendulum graph down here as well. We have a very nice assortment of hand traps to bring in, depending on the situation as well. And of course, this deck is specifically tailored to handle, any hand trap your opponent might have. This card's going to hurt now, but it is in the early stages of the format, so you can get away with testing out some other crazy ideas and getting away with it. Okay. We also have some Ritual Beast action for you here. Now, Ritual Beast, I will tell you, has had some pretty gosh darn good success in the early building of this format. I'm genuinely kind of impressed with this format. Now, obviously, Mr. Protos here is going to be one of the main contributing factors to that success. No matter how you want to spin it around, Protos is still the heart and soul of this deck. You can try to tell me otherwise, but no, it's always going to be Protos Turbo. There's also this really inconveniencing thing right here. This deck gets away with making some incredibly stupid boards, but you don't see Thunder Dragon running around here. Now, what you are actually seeing is just, it was me, the end board piece all along. Yeah, we just make the Colossus. You thought getting, locked out of an attribute was bad, and then on top of things, you have to go ahead and deal with the Colossus lock at the end of it. That's the thing that makes this deck so incredibly stupid, is you're able to produce multiple locks on the opponent, and then your opponent has to deal with things. And if your opponent starts to do anything, you also have the Book of Eclipse to back it up. So, you pick your poison. Then there's this. This is one of the first lists that I've seen actually playing the Ascantos in addition to the Protos. I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's a cute thing for sure. Having the extra soft lock on your opponent, I think is kind of hilarious. But hey, if you can pull off a multi-lock on your opponent, by all means, use it. All right, that's the thing that you need. You want to take advantage of the powerhouse monsters that you have. You may as well just roll through every boss monster that you can actually throw at your opponent. Seems good to me. Okay. And then we get a little bit of meta here. There's nothing wrong with having just a little splash of the meta. Now, you are doing the standard Fiendsmith package in here. I think most people at this event kind of had the same idea with Yubel, where, this card's incredibly stupid. Or, you make the Aerial Eater on into the Wave King Kaiser. It really just depends on how you feel your end board needs to be structured. You know what I mean? If you want to open up more of the standard Desiree Varudis, well, congratulations. You probably saw the Nightmare Throne to kind of allow that to happen. It just depends on the developments that your board is allowing you to play into. Are doing the standard one-ups here. I see we are playing 2 Spirit Yubel. 3 Spirit's dead. It's not coming back. Sorry to tell you that. We are playing the 1 Nightmare Pain, which is fine. Standard Bysteel stuff. Of course, we are citing some Mulch Armies. Don't underestimate this little guy right now, especially pre-Rage. This card is good, but there is... there's a reason for that. Outside of that, I don't see anything really too crazy about this list. Overall, for this regional, the breakdown was good. There's a lot of diversity present in the meta right now. And these rogue factors that are having these levels of success, I think are an extremely good thing. The player base needs to kind of take note of these wild things and be happy that our format looks so good. So leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.